Today we're going to share with you 10 exercises that you should be doing if you're a runner. It's important to be strong as a whole, but we're going to talk about the muscle groups that we really want to focus on so we can be strong when we're running, we can continue getting faster, and we can also remain injury-free. Our first exercise is a single leg drop to box jump. This is a dynamic exercise that involves a combination of strength, stability, and power, making it particularly beneficial for runners. It involves unilateral strength and stability. When we're running, it's a repetitive motion, and each leg is used independently. The single leg drop to box jump targets one leg at a time, helping these to address any strength imbalance you may have, and it's going to help you improve your unilateral strength as well as stability to help better improve your overall running mechanics. Power development. You may wonder, why as a runner we need power development? Power development is going to be key. The explosive box jump component of this exercise requires a rapid contraction of muscles, which is going to emphasize the plyometric and the power development. Building power is crucial for runners, especially during activities like a sprint, maybe a hill run, or even just pushing off during acceleration during one of your longer runs. Enhanced power can lead to improved running efficiency and also improved speed over time. The single leg drop to box is one of my favorite exercises for joint stability. So what we're going to do is we're going to step up onto a lower box, or you could use a plate here. When I say single leg, what's going to happen is I'm going to lift one leg up and I'm going to go into a controlled takeoff, but also a controlled landing, but focus on exploding and generating power off the floor. So I'm going to step down, try to catch as softly as I can. This exercise is really great for promoting joint stability when it comes to your ankles, your knees, and your hips, and that's going to help keep us injury-free during all of the repetitive steps we take when we run. The Cyclist squat involves a deep squatting motion, which engages your quadriceps and your hip flexors. Strengthening these muscle groups is beneficial for runners as they play a crucial role in propelling the body forward during your running stride. Improved strength in your quadriceps and hip flexors is going to contribute to helping you become a more powerful and efficient runner and helping with those mechanics. Enhance joint stability and balance. When doing a cyclist squat, it's a squatting motion, and that's going to challenge your joint stability and your balance, which is going to be particularly relevant for you when you're running, as you constantly deal with the impact of forces while running. So improved stability around your knees, hips, and ankles is going to contribute to better overall balance during your running, and it's going to help you reduce the risk of injury related to instability or imbalances that can come from the pounding and the impact forces. For the cyclist squat, what we're going to do is we're going to elevate our heels. So when we elevate our heels, it's going to help us get into a deeper range of motion, especially if we don't have the ankle mobility. It's also going to allow us to drive our knees forward while we keep our torso upright, which is going to target our hip flexors and our quadriceps directly, which are two muscle groups that we really need to be strong when we're out putting miles in on the pavement. Next is going to be our suitcase hold Bulgarian split squat. This is really going to target our unilateral strength and stability, and it's going to address any muscular imbalances that we have between our legs, and it's going to also enhance stability, which is going to be crucial for the demands of the single leg demands of running. It's also going to require significant core engagement for stabilization, which is going to promote better balance during running and help us maintain our form properly as we continue to get into those longer runs. So for the single leg Bulgarian split squat, you're going to need a bench or a box to be able to elevate our back leg. And that way we're only balancing on one leg while we're doing this, which is very similar to how we are when we're running because we have one foot on the ground at a time. So we're going to take a big healthy step out. We're going to elevate our back leg. For the suitcase hold, the dumbbell actually will be on the opposite side. We want to focus on squatting down and trying to keep about 90 degrees in that front leg. So my knee's not way out over my toe, but I'm feeling my hamstrings and my quads turn on. So I'm working both of those muscles as well as my hip flexor. I'm gonna hold one dumbbell. That's what suitcase means. We only have one dumbbell in our hand. From here, I have to think about actively engaging my midline so I can drive through the floor to stand tall. We have a lot of single leg variation exercises that I love, but I honestly think this is probably my favorite of all of them. For our goblet hold single leg heel drop, this is another one of my favorite exercises. You're going to be using less weight than you are on the suitcase Bulgarian split squat. It's going to recruit our core muscles. So by holding something at our chest, it's going to get us to activate our core and also help with our upper body posture. Then we're going to perform a movement like we're sitting back, trying to touch and tap our heel to the floor, and we're never loading the non-working leg. All of our load is going to be on the working leg, targeting our quads, our hamstring, and our glute, which are three main muscles that we use when we run. So this is a really good one to help us with our balance, help us with our core strength, and then also help us focus on keeping the knee out and the glute turned on, so we're not putting pressure onto our knees, and it's going to help with our joints as well. Today's video is sponsored by Element. Hydration isn't just about drinking water. It's about drinking water and electrolytes. It makes sense because you lose both sodium and water when you sweat. Both water and electrolytes need to be replaced and replenished to help prevent things like muscle cramps, dehydration, headaches, fatigue, and energy dips that can result from low electrolytes and dehydration. Since the 1940s, we've been told to drink 8 glasses of water per day, whether we're thirsty or not. Thirst is the way our body regulates blood volume and fluid balance. When you need more fluids, you get thirsty. And when you drink plain water beyond thirst, it dilutes blood electrolyte volume, especially your sodium levels, which can lead to some nasty consequences. With 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium, Element has the perfect science-backed formula to help move the needle towards your goals. Element is offering you all, my subscribers, a free sample packet with any order. That's 8 single serving packets with any order as long as you use the link below. So make sure you guys click the link below, drinkelement.com/Kristi Ermo. That's DRINKLMNT.com/Kristi, KRISTI, Ermo, ERAMO, to get your free sample packet today. Now, back to today's video. Our next movement is going to be the half kneeling adductor slide, and this is an awesome exercise for hip mobility and range of motion, as well as improved flexibility of your groin or your adductor muscle area. And it's going to also require us to engage our core and our hip muscles throughout the movement while adding a load. Maintaining a stable pelvic position during the sliding motion is going to engage your core muscles, and the core strength is essential for you as a runner to maintain proper posture and control of the movement of your pelvis, which is going to help reduce risk of injuries such as your hip or even lower back pain. This movement, along with the other ones that we've been doing, is great for unilateral training, and this is particularly valuable for runners who may develop imbalances due to the repetitive nature of the sport. Addressing these imbalances can help prevent injuries and improve your overall running performance and allow you to keep doing what you love. The half kneeling adductor slide is one of my favorite exercises. I love all of these. They've been really great for keeping me healthy. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a kettlebell or a dumbbell. There's 2 ways to do this. So we're gonna come down onto our knees. Half kneeling means we're on one knee. So I'm gonna slide my foot out to the side. This should be 90 degrees or about, so my knee is over my ankle. From here, I wanna make sure I'm not rotated, but I wanna get my hips square, so that way I'm feeling a good stretch through my adductor or my groin muscles, trying to keep the knee staying out from caving in. An easier version is gonna be starting with the kettlebell down in front of our body. And so from here, I'm gonna keep this heel glued into the floor. I'm gonna squeeze the glute of the knee that's on the ground. I'm gonna slide my knee out over my toe, feeling a really good stretch through my groin. And then I'm gonna come back. We wanna make sure we do this nice and controlled and that we're not just flying through this exercise. To make this a little bit more challenging, we can bring this kettlebell into a goblet hold, which is gonna require more core strength. So just keeping everything in line, trying to slide the knee out over the toe, and then come back up. Recruiting the glute of the kneeling leg is gonna be key. This is great not just for running, it's great for squatting, it's great for your hip mobility in general. Our next is the Copenhagen plank, and we have 2 variations. You can do this from your knee, or as you become stronger, you can also do this from your ankle. The Copenhagen plank specifically targets your adductor muscles, which are important for stabilizing the hips. Strengthening the adductors can contribute to better lateral stability, which is also going to reduce the risk of injury associated with any imbalances or instability, such as a groin strain. Because running involves such a repetitive forward motion, lateral stability is crucial. The Copenhagen plank challenges the muscles responsible for stabilizing your hips in the lateral side-to-side direction. So improved lateral hip stability by doing these Copenhagen planks is going to enhance your overall hip joint integrity and also help with injuries related to poor hip control. So next we have the deficit jumping lunge, which is going to serve as a plyometric. So we're going to be working on explosive power and strength, and explosive power actually can definitely translate to our running, and it can help us increase our running performance and get faster because now we're becoming stronger, and it's going to help us with our strides and with our speed work. So the way this is going to work is we are going to have a small deficit. You can start without a deficit, but I would also encourage you to gradually increase as you go, and the deficit doesn't need to be anything crazy. So from here, I'm gonna step off, and I'm gonna go into my lunge position, trying to gently touch my knee to the floor, and then I'm gonna explode and switch my legs. So I'm focused on driving hard through my front leg and trying to explode as I switch. Jumping deficit lunges can be beneficial for runners for several reasons. So it's going to increase the range of motion, which is going to be a deeper lunge position due to the added height and the deficit. So this increased range of motion is going to help stretch the muscles around the hip and knee joints. It's going to improve flexibility and mobility in these areas, which can be advantageous for runners as it allows for a fuller range of motion during the running stride. It's also going to target the muscles of the lower body, and that's going to help us continue to build strength and increase the strength in those lower body muscles, which are essential for you to generate power during the push-off and absorb shock during your ground contact. Our next exercise is going to be single leg lifts over a kettlebell or a dumbbell. So this is really going to target our hip flexors and our lower abdomen and our core strength, which is going to be crucial for keeping our hips and our pelvis stable as we run. It's going to help us also with the impact of running. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a dumbbell or a kettlebell. If I have a dumbbell, I want to stand it up so it's a little bit taller. If it's a kettlebell, it'll just be the handle. I'm going to sit myself right about, if I was, let's say, directly in line of this dumbbell, and I'm going to start with both feet on one side. We want to stay as vertically as possible. We can press into the ground. That's going to get more core strength for this movement. And I'm going to think about lifting all the way up and then following with my other leg. Then I'm going to come back, keeping my legs as straight as possible the entire time. I like to go over and back is 1 rep. For our next exercise, it's going to focus on adductor strength again. So we talked about adductor strength earlier in the video. Those are those muscles in the groin. We need those to be strong to counterbalance our glutes, so that way we can be balanced when we're running. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a foam roller. We just need a wall or a rig post or something. We're going to do our normal wall sit, so trying to come down into 90 degrees. And then we're going to take this foam roller and we're going to place it right between our knees. So from here, I have my weight in my heels, so I'm actively strengthening my hamstrings, my glutes in this isometric hold, but now I'm also adding pressure, so my adductors are kicking on. So I'm working glute and adductor together, as well as core strength with this movement. Our next exercise is going to be a monster band march. So I think you guys are probably seeing a trend with all of these exercises. There's a lot of unilateral strength, stability, core strength, glute, quad, hamstring. That way we can be protected in our joints, we can be strong, so we can support ourselves while we're running. So what we're gonna need is a monster band. I would encourage you to start with a lighter band to start. So we're gonna hip this monster band right around our toes. And from here, what we're gonna think about doing, just like when we're running, we have to lift our knee, which is gonna recruit our hip flexors, but we wanna be stable on the opposite leg. That's what this exercise is gonna mimic. So stabilizing with our midline, getting ready to stabilize with the non-working leg, and then we're gonna lift our knee, trying to remain as upright as possible. So as I lift, I feel my opposite glute kick on, keeping that hip extended, trying to get that knee as high as I can to continue to help and strengthen my midline as well as my hip flexors. I hope this video was super helpful for you. It's great to get outside and run. I hope you guys are enjoying your miles, but don't forget to add in some resistance training exercises to help you with your unilateral strength and also keep you injury free. If this was helpful, don't forget to smash the like button, and please comment below with which one is your favorite exercise, or if you have another one you love, we'd love to hear that too. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.
Smell the roses in the tulips, spin it like a hula, fill it all in your medulla. Too hot to handle, got me feeling brand new. Blow it out like a candle. Ay, this ain't nothing but a sample. This that Uptown Boulevard, living large, avant-garde, no charge. Rose gold, superstar, ready, set, on your mark, here we